Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. I don't know why I said that. It's the other one. Under locks and keys.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Just edit it.
I'd be down to play. I'd be down to play that today.
I'm 100% ready.
I'm well aware, but we're finishing this one. God damn it!
I like this one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I like this one too. It's like that one meme of the guy's like, "This is good, but I like this." You know that meme, right?
Yeah. When we last left off, the party returned to Tortage, failing to secure Apollo's wreath from the mysterious captain of Plundon. The party spent a couple weeks attending to personal business, visiting with family and loved ones, establishing businesses, seeing to personal training, and true to his word, the master of the Boomergangers arrived in Tortage to speak with the party, and declared the Boomergangers' formal, temporary surrender. That for the remainder of the party's hunt for the artifacts, they would take a bit of a back seat, and even be willing to help guide the party towards the remaining keys. In exchange, once the party has assembled them, they will come to collect on the gathered artifacts to complete the set that matches with the ones they already possess. And between the Boomergangers' directions and Anna and Dr. Koo's study, you manage to determine that the next artifact is under the protection of the demon god Eat, located in the distant land of Yav, in the kingdom of Tebedra. It's foreign land, politically complicated, and not to mention, bandit country. And who knows what price the demon god may demand in exchange for the wands. Let's find out.
Bandits, pirates. Not really much of a difference. Just one's on water, one's on land.
You know, it's funny because in the monster manual that actually is the case. Like, it literally says if you want to run pirates, literally just use the bandit stat sheet.
Makes sense.
Does you want to have like special pirates?
I mean, but they're special bandits. Like...
At the end of last session, you were all informed that your downtime is over and that the breaker is going to be prepared to set out for Yav. Is there anything you guys would like to do in Tortage before you set sail?
Let's see. How's my rations looking? So it would seem I'm out of ration. No, almost out. No, I'm good. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess. Let's see, do I have rations? I don't think we.
How long would it take us to get there?
If you want, you can run onto the docks and ask the captain. Or the first mate, at any rate.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright. As Anna gathers her equipment and starts getting ready, Greylog, you, along with anyone else who wants to know, make your way down to the Tortage docks, and on bringing the breaker crew up to speed, Sasha, the first mate and acting captain, kind of rubs the back of his neck, and it's going to be a long journey. 6 months.
Months? Dang.
We're traveling nearly to the other side of the world.
Well, guess I gotta go do some purchasing.
He gives you a bit of a smirk, and as you turn to leave, he kind of looking over the ship and the crew as they make preparations for departure. He kind of looks over his shoulder to you as you're leaving, and this will be the longest voyage we've ever undertaken. This treasure of yours better pay out.
We'll see. Hopefully it will.
All right.
But think
So,
about the
Paul,
bragging rights.
Paul, anything from you before departure?
Yeah, it's that carrying capacity.
Gotta get stronger. I guess yeah, I could always go for some rations myself. I know that I think they
All right.
supply rations.
How many would you like to pick up?
Yeah, do we need rations for the ship journey or just for when we get off the ship?
Yeah, you won't need any for the ship journey. The ship's galley will provide you. That's part of the deal they've orchestrated with Brother Cancer. All you have to contend with is, yeah, once you're off the ship, you're on your own.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have to feed myself the entire trip. So I'm like, how much food would it be for 500 pounds of ration? Go over my bag of holding.
Plus, I think your bag of holding
No,
might
yeah.
explode at that point.
So there's like a limit to the bag of holding?
There is.
Yeah, they can only take a certain amount of either weight or physical space.
Do we
It
have,
can hold
like-
500 pounds.
Hold on, Caleb has a bag of holding. Let me see, how much does it hold? It can hold about 500 pounds.
That's what he said, yeah.
If you have nothing else in it.
500 pounds of food. But, I mean, I guess... So, how much is a week's worth of food?
As it can
A
even
week's worth of
remember
food?
how long these trips have lasted on average? Our
Up till
time
now?
Yeah, searching for the items.
So
like
like
how
the
long-
total...
How much time it took, like, kind of on average, for finding each one of the items.
For the ones that you were present for, yeah, you were there for that chapter. It has been since you joined the party, since you've joined the party, it's been about doing some quick mental math here. Because I have the calendar. I'm just trying to see
Okay,
how
so
much of that is your
Let's see,
presence.
how much time did we spend in Plundon?
I said this is the longest journey, so...
Yeah, and you were in Plundon for just shy of 2 weeks. And
Okay, how long were we... What was before Plundon?
in total, your trip in, like once you got there for Perugia, lasted about 10 days. So in total, counting travel time, it's been about 5-ish months.
I wasn't asking the total, I was asking how long did each individual adventure take?
Oh,
So
yeah,
Plundon
about
took 2 weeks.
about 2 weeks.
So Plundon took about 2 weeks, and Perugia took
And
about 10
Sherwood
days.
and the Underdark 10 days, yeah.
Is that including like the time it took us to? Is that basically from the time we got off the boat
Yes.
in Perugia to the time we finished? Okay, so 10 days, and then I know we were. And then how long did the? What was it, Levant that we were in? Where
Yes.
they even met the crew? How long did that adventure take?
Because of the time gap with the break and all, I didn't write down exactly how many days were spent there. But if I recall, you were only there for, like, I think maybe 5 days.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. But counting the time it took you to get back to the dock, I think it was about a week.
Alright. By the way, does D&D just use a flat 30 days as a month?
It depends. D&D normally, I think they have their own calendar that I don't know, so I can't really help you there. And I use my own calendar system for the setting.
Alright. Alright, Avaven will just get 6 more days of rations to get up to 30, which is about a month. He figures that'll be plenty.
In usual D&D settings, 10 days is a week.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll move on. So, 6 days of rations for Avaben. Austin or Paul, you said you wanted a week.
Yeah.
All right, so Avaben, that'll run you 3 gold, and Paul, that will run you 3 gold and 5 silver.
How much can I get for 4 gold?
For 4 gold, you could get. Uh, 8 days.
Alright, we'll do that. So that way I'll have an even 10,000.
Okay.
So add 8 more days. So 1,
Alright.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 32.
Yep.
That should be
and minus
plenty.
4 gold. And Paul, are you good with that price for rations?
Yeah.
Oh, so where have
Okay.
we been staying in?
Usually, there is a inn in the area, not far from the bar you usually frequent. That's basically been like hosting you guys because Paul and Flower and Fall way overpaid for their first stay, and their business wasn't really doing that well. So they were letting the party stay there for a while, and then since then, Anna has been, or rather, Professor Plaster has been financing you guys' room and board, at least while you're staying in Tortage, in exchange, obviously, for his part in the quest.
Okay, so what's his name? Professor Plaster?
Mm-hmm.
Would he mind if Avaben stored some stuff there?
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. His lab's a mess as it is. Alright.
Because Avaben needs to maybe lighten up a little bit. So, I guess I'll remove...
And also drop some of the weight.
Yeah, that's... What? What did you... Wait, what?
You said that
said he needs to
needed
lighten up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Alright,
that's
Anna.
what they said, but
Let's see, so I guess I
Yeah,
just
fine.
delete the item. Can we, like, note somewhere that it's being stored there?
Yeah, like as long as you know what you do and don't have, it's whatever. Whatever works for you. Alright. Asari-ku, is there any preparations you need to make before boarding the ship?
Do items in a backpack count towards your weight?
Did
Yes, as long as you're wearing it.
did Greylog
And we'll store our old longbow. and
did
our
Greylog
short
tell
sword.
Asari that he was gonna go get some food?
Greylog, did you?
I say yeah.
I'll just help Anna. I'll just help carry stuff.
I guess he'll get since she wants him to get food too. He'll grab another. Let's see, how many do I have? I've got.
Do I have to have the little
36.
box next to the backpack check to have that stuff with me?
36.
Yes, basically it adds it to your weight, but basically if you leave your backpack somewhere, it'll take the weight off without deleting your items.
Let's see, so technically I am 2.95 pounds over my carrying capacity.
Okay.
So, and I don't really know what else I can get rid of.
With that Skyrim logic, like you're just walking very slowly now.
Yeah, 24 rations.
Like, I need the
All right.
forged cast pistol. I need a longbow. I need a short
12
sword. I
gold.
need studded leather.
Okay.
I need arrows. I need, obviously I need clothes. I need I don't know when, the hunting trap could be useful. And I need rations.
If it helps you, you can offer Paul to carry your...
And, and rope is gonna be important, and I need a bedroll. I mean, you never know when you're gonna need a mess kit or a tinderbox. And torches weigh so little that it's not even worth the effort. Wait,
All
no,
right.
that's not their weight. Oh, the torches actually weigh 10. Okay. Well, we're leaving the torches.
Okay.
That gets me unencumbered. Barely.
All right.
You can't pick up anything ever again.
Maybe we'll see if Paul wants 50 feet of rope.
If you're asking him to carry it, he's totally fine with that. Carry it.
Okay.
Alright.
Then I'll delete
And,
the 50 feet of rope.
All right. And Greylog, did you note the 12 gold for 24 days?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Also,
All right.
Raven's gonna probably try to get some more arrows.
I have
Okay.
19 arrows if you want them.
Does he use arrows?
No.
Okay, then sure.
Yeah, so you can add 19 arrows.
What's 19 plus 19?
38.
That would very fast. Nice. Okay. Does anyone else have anything that needs to be noted?
Nope. But luckily, I am good at math. That's actually one of my strong suits to a degree.
Nice.
D&D is
Alright.
perfect for you. Also, I have a feeling we may end up having to deal with light again. Something Avaben hasn't had to deal with in a while. Yeah, and it is a forest.
Yeah, we'll see, won't we? Maybe I can see if I have darkness or not, so I can put you in like a little bit of darkness or something.
Can Avaben see through darkness?
No.
No idea,
You can't.
but you won't have to worry about light.
You can't. You need
That will solve the light problem.
Yeah.
Solutions like that are always the funniest. It's like, well, you solved one problem. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's just,
But you might have I mean, that's like programmer problem solving right there. You fix one bug and 28 more pop up.
yeah,
But you did fix the bug.
You
Yeah.
fix the
Alright.
bug.
that's all that
Bugs are
people
like
need.
hydras, except it's more than just two heads that sprout.
You all spend a busy few hours. You visit the bazaar to pick up some food for the journey, especially once word reaches those of you who were not at the docks that this trip is going to be somewhat of a long one. Avaben, you drop some of your unneeded supplies at the lab of Professor Blaster, who gives you his word that despite his inability to keep the leader of the Boomergangers out of his house, he will at the very least ensure that your things are as protected as he can make them. As he, being as old as he is, usually stays in Tortage while you guys travel.
Yeah, Vaven's gonna be like, don't stress too much. It is kind of old equipment.
Well, speaking from experience, often what's old can be useful in the right situation. And he kind of gives you a wink.
Fair enough.
You all trade off supplies to each other, Greylog giving the archer some arrows, the archer passing along to the knight some rope. You all make ready, gather your comrades, say your farewells, and As night falls over Tortage and a storm begins to roll in, the breaker once again sets sail, and once you're all out to sea and Tortage is slowly fading on the horizon, as you're all gathered in the galley by the crew, Sasha, the first mate and acting captain, speaks up, kind of looking over everyone. And looking to you guys at the end of the table, he gives a nod. The doctor, and he gestures to Anna, has informed me of where we were going. I do not need to tell you that the land will be dangerous, but the seas will be treacherous as well. We're going to be passing by the open polar sea, and we will be docking in the Sea of Glass.
I understand we're going into thieves' territory, which we just
Yeah.
left the sea thieves' territory. So now we're going to the land thieves.
It's not really much of a difference, really. What's so dangerous about this land, though?
He kind of does like a small grunt and his nostrils flare.
I think we offended him.
Politics. Things are complicated.
Could you...
Many kingdoms and
If you want to
empires
talk about
rise and
complicated,
fall every day.
try living next to Britannia.
Try living in Britannia, really. I mean, come on.
He kind
Yeah,
of
I'm sure
quirks
it's
a
so
brow,
complicated discussing
Not me,
who you're
almost
going to
flipped me into
conquer next.
Louisiana.
Did anybody hear what Maven said?
Yes.
How complicated can it be to talk about who you're going to conquer next?
Yeah, how complicated can it be to decide who you're going to try to colonize next?
But do enlighten me. Tell me more.
Oh boy.
Is she talking to Maven?
It's been
No,
a
no,
long
no.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been home, but last I remember it. There are alliances, but they can be made or broken in weeks, days even. And while I do not know much of them personally, I know the Badrins to be untrustworthy and with a difficult history.
Well, I mean, not to be rude or anything, but they are a bandit kingdom. I don't expect anything less.
Yeah, their very existence
kind
is
of-
probably trouble.
I imagine they're very cantankerous.
Dizzy actually gives kind of a smirk and with another small flaring of the nostrils as he looks over all of you. But I gave the crew my word as acting captain that I would at least warn you of what's coming. We want you to be safe.
Oh.
We will do our best to keep safe.
You said you were from there.
I was once.
Where exactly were you from there?
He puts a hand to his chest, and looking to his credit, kind of proud. My father was of the kingdom of Penditi while it still lived.
I'm guessing politics happened.
Politics happened. Our lands were taken from us, and my family now lives in a small village in the North Wastes.
The Northwest? Where's that? Oh, west. I thought you said waste. I was like, that's a little bit of a bummer.
Waste is correct.
Hey, which is correct?
Sorry, just kind of slaps Greylog for like, told you.
Wait, which one is correct? That sounded exactly the same.
The North Waste.
Okay, the waste. Oh,
So I was
doesn't
right.
sound like a great. Doesn't sound like a would be my first choice.
Does it have a name?
My village.
Yeah.
He shakes his head. No. We keep ourselves secret and hidden. We hide.
Could I gauge what his race is?
As far as you know, he appears to be human.
I
Well,
love how you say that.
yeah. Sorry, we'll just be like, well, I haven't met many humans.
Yeah, you have.
Not
You live in
many.
a kingdom full of them.
Well,
There's just an entire city full of humans.
well.
Like, is it Britannia like human dominated, Matthew?
I wouldn't have. Okay.
There is a healthy population of other
But that doesn't
races,
mean
but
that
yes,
you like
Britannia.
actually met them.
No,
Which means, like, on a
I get what
personal-
you're trying to say. Don't worry.
Okay. I'm glad.
Mhm. Well, I guess technically we're not really set on this timestamp for the most part, but should we get going?
We are already making way. Just try and endure the trip. I know most of you do not necessarily have your sea legs yet, so just
I'm
Honey,
part
we
dragon.
just-
Life.
We
I
did
don't
just
have.
spend like 2 weeks on a giant ship.
That is a good point. Yes.
he kind of gives a smirk, but our routines will not change. We will be hugging the south to avoid the open polar sea. Do not
What's wrong
attempt to
with
swim.
the polar sea?
What's wrong with that?
Is it just cold?
No, it's a different pirate captain's domain.
Oh.
While that is true, we are allowed to make trips through our rivals' territories. The concern with the open polar sea is indeed the freezing cold. My homeland borders the northern caps, the coldest place on Terra.
Wow.
Many scholars say that my ancestral home is the coldest place any civilized race has ever lived.
Doesn't it get kind of cold in Perugia sometimes?
Yeah, Fallujah has a steppe climate, so it has very cold winters but very hot summers.
At least the Raven's not unused to cold. Did we stock up on warm clothes?
Nope.
Do we have a good minute to like get
We-
some
Said we were already
Oh.
underway.
Yeah, we
Uh,
already set sail.
Well,
Yeah,
Well-
Tortage is already on the horizon.
well, fuck.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you can always buy stuff when we get there.
Yes.
Plus, just stick near me. I'll keep you plenty warm.
Oh, darling. Oh, you mean fire?
For a doctor, you're not very bright.
Well, I mean, I thought you were talking about
Not
something
very
else.
bright.
Yes, he made a fire joke.
It's not where Asari's mind went.
Well, I mean, if Raven has lived on a place that gets cold, so I'm sure his clothes are taking that into account.
Alright. With that, is there just any coverage you guys want to have regarding just the time between leaving Tortage and hopefully arriving safely at Yav.
I'm gonna check in with Anna and, be sure that she's alright and she's not used to traveling like this, so I just want to make sure that my bestie is okay.
I wonder if there's gonna be any
Alright.
encounters at sea, like another pirate or some shit.
Paul, anything from you?
How am I gonna use my bucket? I mean, Paul has nothing like particular. He's just kind of like, okay, he understands the situation. It's gonna be a long.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. It's more just like basically if there's anything you want to do while you're traveling.
Yeah, like, he understands. He's gonna just probably just roughly just do what he normally does. Just take care of the ship, help out with cooking.
Okay. Greylog?
I was going to say that he's going to work with his woodworking skills, but he didn't buy any wood supplies.
All that shipwrecking, break off piece of wood.
All right. So what would you like to do, if anything?
Yeah, he'll probably just relax.
Okay. And Avaben, anything from you?
I guess Avaben will just help keep a lookout in case there's any encounters.
All right. For funsies, roll perception. Of course, sunlight disadvantage.
Damn.
We gotta get those glasses. No, it's an eye patch.
Natural 1.
Okay. And also, I mentioned this already, but just so that it's restated, so that nobody forgets. If you don't have it noted on your character sheets already, do remember that because we are starting a new chapter, you all have inspiration, and this will be your one inspiration to use during this chapter at your discretion. So if you don't have it noted on your character sheet, just make sure you note that. That said, the months at sea are by no means easy. You all take some time, thankfully assisted by your time in London, but you had a few weeks on land for this to fade a bit. You do have to take some time to get your sea legs, acclimate yourself to the constant shifting of being at sea for as long as you are right now. And after a time, you all just settle into relatively easy routines. Paul, you see to the cooking and the cleaning, as is your wont. The cook, the dark elf that Avaben had befriended, is of course happy for the assistance. And you can already get the impression that the crew basically considers you especially, but the party at large, as one of their own, so to speak. Greylog, you spend most of your time relaxing with the swabs and powder monkeys, enjoying the sun when it comes.
His fire near the powder.
And just keeping an eye on things, relaxing with the crew, who are, much to the chagrin of the acting captain, not exactly working. Dr. Koo, as you make regular
What kind of
descents...
ship is this again, by the way?
This is a brig.
So they probably have like quite a bit of crew, other than just the named ones.
Oh no, they actually this was mentioned like the very, very first session of this campaign, so yeah, it's understandable it would have been forgotten. The Brother Cancer pretty much gave you guys a skeleton crew to work with, so yeah, you're not working with a lot, unfortunately.
I mean, what's the minimum that a brig needs to operate?
To operate efficiently, you would need at least like 15, 20 people.
Oh, okay.
Probably not operating efficiently.
I like to think that when Greylog's just sitting around with the crew, that he's like playing cards with them.
Mm-hmm. Asari, is there anything just basically particularly noteworthy on screen that you want to cover during your visits with Anna, or is it more just you want to check in on her just to see how she's doing?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I had to take out my headphones. I mean, I'll just hang out with Anna. I don't really have much anything else to do. So I'll just hang out. Girl time.
Okay. Yeah, of course. While Greylog bonds with the crew, you bond further with your old roommate. Anna is taking the life at sea as well as you can be expected. She
Yeah.
struggles with seasickness a bit early on, and isn't exactly happy about the conditions, but for the sake of the adventure, she's willing to endure. And you and her spend a good several weeks just bouncing ideas off of each other on who built the Spelltwin Wands and what potential uses may they have, and of course, what keys may be coming next once this one is acquired, and what interest or relevance does this demon god have to them. And Avaben, you spend most of your days trying to keep your eyes open as best you can, occasionally assisting the lookout, the wood elf man operating out of the crow's nest. But your inability to see comfortably in sunlight means it's more a situation of he ends up having to help you get up and down during the day than you are actually directly contributing to the looking out.
At one point, I almost fall, but he catches me.
Yeah, it kind of grabs you by the shoulder and has to vocally direct you where to put your leg next.
But honestly, I think of Vaven afterwards. I think I'll be better for the night watch.
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
I think of Vaven will just instead focus on keeping a lookout at night.
Fair point. Avaben, as you're recovering from that and being guided back down to the main deck, Greylog, you're on deck playing cards with the crew, Paul swabbing, and Asari and Dr. Ku on a nearby table, or well, less of a table, more of a barrel, looking over some notes. The first mate lets out a call, as at this point the sun is beginning to set and the night sky is beginning to come out, hence the elves coming down from the crow's nest to begin with. And as the sky begins to darken and night begins to fall, the first mate lets out a call from the wheel. On the horizon, look ahead. We're approaching the boiling sea.
Oh.
Is it literally boiling?
If you're unfortunate enough. And as your eyes adjust, as the night sky overtakes, all of you can see in the direction ahead of you where you're sailing, on the horizon, Asari, you initially think that the sky, the sun maybe hasn't set yet. There's still this kind of bronze tint on the horizon. But you realize it's not sunlight. Sunlight doesn't flicker like that. It's fire.
Does it look like dangerous fire? Should I be concerned?
Make a history check.
Okay. History. I should be good at that, considering, I'm a fucking doctor of history. Come on, D&D Beyond. Do not fail me.
Fair, even sometimes experts have goose.
Blank spots, yeah.
Oh, yeah, goose and that.
Lucian literally has +1 more than Asari does.
Oh,
not great. 11.
You have heard stories of the boiling sea, but you are not exactly an expert on the seas. So you're
I'm gonna grab my handy dandy staff and stand up and just kind of be like, should we be worried about that?
The first mate shakes his head and nods at the distant flames. I have sailed these seas before. I know how to navigate them. But dress light, and if any part of the sail or ship catches flame, putting out will be our first priority.
I mean, I'm not doubting your skills, sir, but I mean, how likely is it that, you know, a fire just randomly starts?
Well,
He
we
gives
are
you a
surrounded by
smile.
water, so at least you'll have a solution at hand.
As he says this, I would like to use a cantrip called Shape Water. So I'm just gonna like think waterbender, and he's gonna start like
Yeah.
doing that crazy shit with the water. Like, I gotcha. Don't worry.
Like, fucking
Greylog is
like splashes of sorry.
Greylog, as you playfully bend some of the seawater. The first mate chuckles to you, sorry, and it's not random if you know what you're looking for. We will avoid the flames as best as the ship can.
I don't know what I can do to help. Let's see. Not much, unfortunately.
Maybe it's just like, sorry. Alright, Vaven's like, well, I mean, if it's night, I can actually keep a watch out.
He gives you a nod, and if you can assist, the help will be thanked, but... And he gives it's still stoic, but he does give a friendly enough smile to all of you, and... We have been charged with ensuring your safe travel, and we intend to do so. On my honor as first mate of this vessel, I will not see it sink.
I mean, at this point, you might as well be
A
captain.
little alarmed look on Asari's face. Like, and I'm just gonna kind of knock on the fucking wood above my head.
As you do that, kind of, there's no wood above your head, but you can knock against like the railing of the ship.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as you do that, Anna excitedly leans forward over your notes and, wait, if we're passing the Sea of Troubles, that must mean we're close to Fire Giant country. Do you think we'll see a Fire Giant?
God.
Pray for your life, we don't.
Yeah, we are on a wooden ship that is probably loaded with explosive material.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, Anna, I did not bring my water spells.
Bring your water spells.
Well, look at a safe distance then.
Like, bring
Yeah.
your water spells.
Yeah, no. After I leveled up, I changed my spells. Because you guys said I could, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Don't scare
Is
me.
there a class where once you pick your spells, that's it?
Not necessarily. Technically, you're.
Yeah, not for like a permanent, like, that's it forever, as far as I know.
Yeah,
There are classes where you have to wait till you level up again, so in theory you could run into a situation like that at level 20, but beyond that...
True.
Oh yeah, that's true. At level 20, if you change your spells at level up, you can't change your spells anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing an epic scale game. Alright.
But I think you usually do just level 20s.
Yeah, for now. I'm interested in doing an epic game someday, but yeah, for now I'm just running to 20.
Have we ever made it 20?
I've never made it to 20.
I've never made it to 20.
I've been playing for years, and I have only made it to level 16.
Hey Matthew, have you ever made it to level 20?
As a player, no, but as a DM, yes.
But then again, that is because you DM more than you play.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But then most games don't get to 20. I think like the highest most games score is like 12-ish. That's pretty high there too. Either way, yeah. Paul will get his bucket and start getting ready to.
Bucket. He's gonna find use for that bucket at every point.
I still
And
want to
then
make.
at the end of the campaign, he's gonna knock out the leader of the Boomergangers with that bucket.
I love that idea.
still want a fan art of Asari with that fucking bucket on her head during the sandstorm.
Just gotta find an artist.
Yeah.
Bucket.
But
It
Wonder if
takes-
Zephyr can find a bucket.
oh my god.
It takes a few hours, but soon that illuminated, crackling glow on the horizon gets closer. And as you guys are getting ready for bed at this point, but the crew is still active, and indeed, Greylog, once the warning was given, the crew you were playing with, all of them kind of basically dressed down to just the necessary
How many hours
clothes.
passed between? Was it 4 hours?
I'd say at this point, yeah, I'd say like 3 or 4. Why?
Because I was gonna have. Because originally my plan was if Abe was just gonna go meditate so that he'd be good for the night.
Okay, sure. Avaben, as the warning is given, you go to meditate while the Wood Elf returns to keeping watch. And Avaben, you've reached the end of it, but you're disturbed out of the meditation, and all of you can hear this as you're getting ready for bed. This kind of crackling sound. This like this electrical sounding as if metal is snapping all around you.
Do I recognize
And-
this sound?
Make a history check.
I figured since I work with fire a lot, being the race I am,
Oh, fair point. In that case,
he
make
might know.
In that case, make a nature check.
Yeah. Like, as a DM, I'd be like, okay, your wording. You said, do you recognize
Nope.
it?
As a 3.
Okay. And Avaben, as you ascend onto the main deck to take over for the Wood Elf on Night Watch.
There you go, Matthew. You can use that for ambience.
I mean, probably have some.
Well, and bear in mind, that's not even the sound yet. You all see that there's smoke in the air. The sky is clouded by ash and dust. And everything is incredibly hot. Not inhospitably so, but just definitely very, very warm. And as you all see, when the water is relatively still, it just boils, it bubbles, and steam comes off of it. But Dr. Koo, you notice that as waves rock in the distance, tidal waves and currents and the like, those are where the boiling water heats to a point of having active flames that stick to the surface of the water. And
Anna and just kind of like talk with her about it.
And yeah, I'll say all of you on the main deck as you're again getting ready to like get off of your duties or play and head to bed, and Avaben's taking over for the night watch. As Anna talks about it with Asari, all of you will hear this. As you demonstrate your interest in Asari, she gives a wide grin and gives a nod. It's called the Sea of Troubles, although pirates just call it the Boiling Sea. and most of the naval empires call it the Sea of Bronze for the effect it has on the sky. We're on the borders of Muspelheim now, the land of the fire giants, and it's so hot there, and there's so many volcanoes that it boils the ocean even this far out. The flames stick to the surface. It's so hot out here that other than the fire giants, nothing can live here.
So why exactly are we moving through this?
You want to get to Yav? Your options are the open polar sea of freezing cold, or the boiling sea. If you wish to visit the bandits, we take the boiling sea.
This place must not get a lot of visitors.
At this, he actually gives you a slight smirk, and more than you'd think, Mr. Oglotha.
What is there?
Sorry, you cut out on my end. One more time.
Got out for me as well.
Oh, I guess his internet must have just gone out then.
Yeah, I want to have Tristan stay up for a while, just keeping an eye on the fire, just in case
Okay.
he's needed to help with anything.
Okay. And Paul, I will say as a side note, you actually notice that that crackling sound is indeed not fire. As you kind of glanced to look at the water lapping at the sides of the ship, you notice that what's happening is that the minerals in the water outside the boiling sea, when they touch the boundaries of the boiling sea, immediately just crackle and burn. So what you're hearing is literally the sugars, salts, and other minerals of the water being set on fire as you cross into the boiling sea. What you're hearing is the ocean burning. True to the first mate's word, while Avaben, Asari, and all of you keep an weather eye and varying levels on the horizon, there's nothing out here. There's no islands. There's no land. The only land you can make out is a distant land of wreathed in flame, which Anna reverently points out to all of you as Muspelheim, the land of the fire giants. Beyond that burning landscape, there is nothing out here. You don't see fish. You don't see whales. Just smoke, fire, and ash on a sea of boiling water. But with your, as dressed down as any of you are comfortable being, again, the heat is certainly noteworthy, but not unbearable. You definitely prefer the more temperate seas you're used to, though. Eventually, you manage to make it away from the thickest part of the flames and ash, and much as it had before, it doesn't go away, but it does begin to ease over time. And eventually you can see the distant horizon. Long trails of sloping plains, mountainous countryside, and if you squint, you can just make out a forest in the far distant horizon. And as the breaker makes course towards this landmass, Anna smiles to all of you. There it is, Yav.
Interesting. Can't wait to see what the natives are like.
What's the plan, Captain? First mate? He kind of turns his attention towards the distant landmass, and you see he actually appears to be kind of thinking for a moment before he gives a nod. There's a bay that will take us to a city of the Shadow Lily Confederacy. We will dock there. That's as close as we can take you to the Tibedrons.
Do I
All right.
know about the Shadow Lily?
We established last session you don't.
Okay. Sorry, my brain's like, goodbye.
Maybe they don't exist at all.
Right. I'll look on to kind of gauge her reaction.
Anna just seems like educationally delighted.
Anna, do you know about this area very well?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
What happened?
You died.
I mean, nothing much. Just the journey, just kind of
Dude,
continued.
if
But
that
if you
had
want,
actually fucking happened while I was out, I
No.
probably would stop talking to Matthew for like a week.
Oh. No.
but yeah, no. Literally, all that happened is I did more flavor, and you guys are getting close to Yav. You can like see it on the horizon.
So
But if
what
you
was
wanna
the
ask
last thing you heard from me?
You were about to ask the first mate something after he pointed out that this area actually gets more traffic than you'd expect. If you want,
yeah,
you
he
can
was-
bring that up to him.
Yeah, he was gonna say, oh, either there's some other way around. The reputation of one of those two places is greatly exaggerated.
He kind of gives you a smirk, and as he spins the wheel, he kind of thinks for a moment and finally just simply says, "Or sailors are hardier than you give them credit for."
Well, still, it can't be a place so bad that nobody can go there if people, go there.
He kind of gives you a small nod of his head and turns his attention back to his work for now. And in response to you, Asari, Anna kind of crosses her arms, having ditched her jacket for now and taken off her hat for just a simple tank top and pair of shorts. And she kind of thinks for a moment and, well, wouldn't exactly call myself an expert, but I've done a lot of passing studies on some of the local traditions.
Oh, do tell me more.
It's complicated stuff, but basically first mate, correct me if I'm being insensitive with any of this, but as I understand it from what I've read, the Yavik people are not exactly united. There's always someone at war with someone else. People fighting over politics, cultural differences, that sort of thing. But the area we're going has actually been at peace, at least for a little while. A couple years back, some adventurers passed through the area, managed to clean up a lot of the political problems. People are still fighting, but, at least they're not using, like, demons to do it.
Were they being the fool? That's right.
Yeah, not many people heard about it, but it was a pretty big deal around these parts. I hear they're actually wanting to do a play about it. Maybe you'll get to see it.
That would be really interesting. Yes.
And she kind of closes her eyes and thinks for a moment. And now, your best bet is probably to just avoid the Tibedrons entirely. We're gonna, from the looks of it, if we're taking the bay, like the first mate says, we're probably gonna end up in the Shadow Lily city of, and she kind of takes a moment to, like, look over the horizon and think for a moment before nodding. We should end up in Perha, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, first mate? Aye. Trade city. Right. We're gonna end up in the Shadow Lily city of Perha. Pretty interesting place. Kind of a cultural mishmash, especially after the war. At that point, you guys should probably, once you've seen the sights, cut southeast. Don't take the straight path into the forest. It's going to take you right into bandit country. And we don't need to tell the bandits we're here if we can avoid it. We just need the lake.
Okay.
Understandable.
Why do you suggest not dealing with the patrons at all? Are they really that horrible?
I mean, it's like Avaben said, they're thieves. Can't exactly, you know, trust a thief. No offense.
Yeah.
And she looks to some of the crew.
Is Avaven there? Or is he like up deck and they're
Yeah,
down
I'll
below?
say you guys are like kind of roughly in the same area.
But
But
also,
it's like,
you
to
can't
be
speak
fair,
past a
I didn't
thief.
think the pirates would be very amenable, but they were actually somewhat reasonable. As long as you stayed on their good side.
I mean, I'm not exactly a boss, just, and she kind of scratches the back of her neck. Just be careful, alright? I've seen people in this area start wars over the tiniest slights.
That certainly sounds concerning.
She gives a nod and kind of turns her attention back to the horizon. But it will be fascinating to get a personal look at all of it. And if that play is finished, I definitely want to try and see it.
Oh, we should definitely go. I mean, you don't have to, Paul. I just the educational.
I just don't see the. I mean, well, I could sort of see the education, I guess. It's more just concerned for the fact that the longer we stay here, the more in danger we are.
Well, it seems to me that's where we're going to be stuck here. We might as well do something enjoyable.
Finally, at the end of a hot and miserable journey, the boat pulls into a small bay and begins to make for the docks of the Shadow Lily Confederacy. Welcome to Yav.
And that is where we're going to...
No!
Yeah, right?
He's like, man, I expected you guys to do a lot
I
more
was
bullshit
literally
before
just
you got this
ready
far.
Nah,
Just why?
I don't think he would. I think there's other plans. I have suspicions.
As you guys pull into the bay and the crew begins to make ready for docking,
Man, that was a quick
it
6
gives all of you
months.
for us.
I mean, like, I thought we were gonna, like, do a whole thing of, like, having to keep the ship from burning down and all that.
Well, I mean, there's 5 of you, or yeah, technically speaking, there's 5 of you. Even if I only counted active players, there's 4 of you. You have more than enough crew to maintain the ship, and I knew if I was like, oh, the ship's on fire, like it would just be everyone making rolls at advantage to put the fire out. So,
Bells, I could just be like, haha, water.
exactly. So, no, yeah, and since everyone already said they would do as the first mate suggested, and like just keep an eye out for fires, I figured you guys would be fine. Looking at the city as you approach it, there is a set of impressive walls protecting the bulk of it. However, the parts you can make out over the stone, you can see there are colorful buildings, and at the docks, positioned outside of the walls, you can see a menagerie of Asari. From your fairly educated background, you're able to instantly identify that this is a lot of multicultural architecture that's kind of being glommed together. if what Anna said is true, the Shadow Lily Confederacy is something of a cultural melting pot, and this appears to be the results. You can see goblin huts and Nekomata tree houses, and of course regular human homes. All sorts of unique constructions, and you can see part of the city actually expands out into the bay and kind of encompasses part of it in this like floating, like almost flotilla town expansion of the city. And as the breaker approaches the docks, lays anchor, and begins to deposit off crew and supplies, you guys are free to do as you wish. What would you like to do?
Let's get the hell off this boat.
I'm heading to a bar.
Okay, making your way to a bar. Anyone else?
I'm gonna link arms on and ask her if she wants to browse the town.
Okay, Paul?
I guess I will. Yeah, I'll start asking questions to the locals. Why not?
Okay. And Avaben?
I guess the Vaven will get a lay of the land.
Okay.
Since it seems like Paul is intent on looking around this place.
Well,
Okay.
Everyone else is staying, so.
The moment the gangplank is laid down, and Asari, you give your proclamation of let's get the hell off this boat, the crew pretty much all in unison give an aye, and immediately start taking cargo that needs to be taken off, and those who are not needed, and Greylog, you notice a few who are needed but just don't want to do anything, slink their way onto the docks and start making their way towards the walls. As you guys fan out all in different directions to explore this city, you find yourself in a very colorful town. Once you get off the docks, the streets are cobble. You can see carts acting as a sort of public transit, carrying groups of people to and fro. Most of the central constructions are brick, very small and utilitarian buildings, almost militaristic in their design. The terrain around you is very hilly and sloping. Avaben, in your exploration, you encounter a few kind of interesting, quirky
We can put more in the same
landmarks.
bag. It was not going to hurt anything.
You come across a sort of savanna contained within the walls that has several bubbling tar pits that, through observation and, if you're willing, questioning of the locals, you discover is the graveyard of the city. You can see not far away from the graveyard across the savanna is a large church. And for Greylog, there is no shortage of colorful establishments that you can attempt to peruse for spirits. And as Asari and Anna browse the shop and Greylog browses the bars, Paul, if you're interested in questioning the locals, I'll say, what sort of questions are you interested in asking them?
I guess about the bandits. I mean, more information, get on them better. I guess he'll just sort of introduce himself and just be like, so I did hear some commotion about the place having some bandit trouble. Wanted to know any information about that.
Make a persuasion check.
No, ma'am. You too.
Also, y'all mics are on.
Yeah, can you guys mute while you do with outside stuff?
Paul. What is it?
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
No worries.
You're fine.
Yeah, so persuasion, Paul?
Persuasion. Ooh.
Did
Yeah, I'm real good at persuasion. 5.
The locals you ask are friendly, but they just kind of shake their head and don't really have much they can tell you that you don't already know. Politically complicated, Tebadra's full of bandits, be careful not to get your shit stolen. They attempt to be helpful, but nobody really tells you anything that you don't already know.
Disappointing, but I guess he'll try to find the party, just see what the next move is.
Okay. Sorry, Greylog, are you available?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
For Greylog, as mentioned, there are several bars in this city. The two most kind of immediately attention-grabbing ones are the Dizzying Kaleidoscope and the Shattered Glass.
I think he's gonna go for the kaleidoscope.
Okay. And Asari, you said you're going shopping with Anna. Is there anything you want to buy, or is it just more like, just you kind of wandering the city until you regroup with the party?
No, like Anna and I are exploring the city. Maybe we'll see if that play is in town or something.
Okay. Avaben, you wander past the graveyard, and you find that on the eastern side of the city is a lot of warehouses and things of that nature. This area appears to be a little less trafficked. And I'll say, just over time, Greylog, do you intend to stay at the Dizzying Kaleidoscope, or are you just grabbing a few drinks and then heading back out?
Just grabbing a few drinks,
Alright.
having a bit of fun.
Okay. In that case, I'll say for just a few drinks and just generally enjoying yourself for the Dizzying Kaleidoscope, I'll say 5 silver.
Okay.
As you emerge from the bar, Avaben and Paul return to the main street area from their investigations of the city, and Asari, you regroup with everyone with Anna on your arm, and Anna gives you all a friendly smile as the party regroups. What would you all like to do?
Oh. No idea.
Well, I mean,
Well, what time is it?
I'll say at this point it's starting to get fairly late. I'd say at this point it's about, I'd say easily like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Well, all in favor of going and find a room on solid ground?
I'll be honest. I prefer if I can get this show on the road. I'd like to get this done and over with, but if you wish to stay, then.
At least one night.
I mean,
You don't want to go to bandit country at night, do you?
I doubt we'll probably get there by night. Or I doubt we'll get there just right away. It was that
We could have
close.
morning.
Besides, being exhausted isn't going to do anyone any favors.
I mean, I was more or less meaning the idea of camping just along the way, but again, if we wish to, camp here, no big deal.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to a feather bed.
Alright. If there's no objections. Greylog, in your search for a bar, you do know that the Shattered Glass acts as a tavern and inn both, and you are all able to easily enough find a place to stay. A stay in this inn for the night will be 5 silver a person, or rather 5 silver a room.
Let's see. You said 4 of us.
There's, I mean,
Uh,
player
There's technically
Right.
the twins, but they'll be but they'll be tending to themselves. So just for you guys, yeah, there's 4 of you, assuming you all sleep in separate rooms. Yeah, like I said, 5 silver a person.
I'll hand them 3 gold. And that'll cover each of us our own room, and the twins are going to have their own room with a little bit of extra for more drink and food in the morning.
Okay. The bartender, a kind of young, sultry-looking Saurian woman, takes the money and, with a voice that's heavily accented with Yav, and a voice that you suspect is slightly damaged by taking of something, points you all up to your rooms, and the beds are humble but comfortable. The rooms are spacious enough to be comfortable to stay in, if not necessarily luxurious. As you all settle in for a long rest, anything noteworthy from anyone before we proceed?
You said there was a temple, right?
There is a church, yes.
I guess Greylock will go there for a bit. Now that he's supposed to be worshiping Hela, now it's as good a chance to start as any.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Nope.
Greylog, you make your way to the north side of town through the Savannah tar pits and make it to the church at the other end. As you enter, you find yourself in a mostly stone establishment with some wooden supports that have some markings on them that you imagine seems they might have been burned at one point. And the man running the place, a wolf-like humanoid, approaches you wearing priestly vestiges, and with a deep bow, gives you a smile. Welcome to the Church of Purha. Is there a deity in particular I can assist you in your worship of?
I'm looking for more information on Hela.
He kind of puts a hand on his chin, and while we respect all religious worship here in the Confederacy, I'm afraid I am not familiar with the worship of Lady Hela. However, if you like, I can point you in the direction of some religious readings.
Yeah, that would be plenty of help.
Being friendly, he points you to the Purha Library. And I'll say, make me a religion check.
Okay. Let's see, would the dice be nice? 11.
Okay. Checking out a few books from the library, staying to read a few of them, and taking a few of them, I imagine, to just read overnight before returning them as the party leaves.
Yeah.
Unless you wish to do some pilfering.
Nah, not for church.
You are able to find a few books on Lady Hela. However, it's hard to distinguish what's like strict just history of her and what is more like actually like, you know, here is how you worship her properly. Again, she is not a commonly worshipped goddess here. However, I will say with your roll, you are able to find that there are like there are large religious gatherings that worship her. Just they're not particularly common in this area. However, you do find evidence in your readings of Hela having, at least for her worshippers, 13 rules that they are expected to follow.
Okay, he's going to work on memorizing those rules.
Okay. You all get a long rest. And as you awaken, Paul seems to have indicated that he is somewhat in a hurry. So, with that said, does anyone have any business in the city, or are you prepared to just meet downstairs, maybe have breakfast, and then start heading out to Bandit Country?
Breakfast, returning the books that I borrowed.
Okay.
But then, yeah, he'll be good to go.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Do I know how long it'll
breakfast.
take to get to Bandit Country?
You don't know off the top of your head. However, you are able to see the forest that they're said to live in, like, in the distance from the front gates. So, it can't take that long. Also, just as a side note, a meal for everyone will run 1 gold, 2 silver.
Okay, got it.
Do it for
All right.
our taste.
Greylog buys everyone breakfast, and you all sit down for, from the sounds of it, a rather quiet meal, all just readying yourselves for the duties of what's coming. And with that, you rise to your feet. Greylog, you make a run into town to return your books while everyone else gathers their equipment. You all meet at the front gates.
Do we have a cart?
You do not.
Can
Paul has
I
his
see
mount,
about renting a cart?
Renting a cart, okay. How long do you wish to rent it for?
Let's see. Let's say, because it's not too far, I'd say about a week.
Okay. Rent one of their... They, as mentioned, do offer them out. They do offer to just do a caravan to take you where you want to go, but if you just want to rent a cart, rent a cart for a week, that'll run you...
It's traveling with a caravan. It's okay, but we're going towards bandits, so maybe not.
Might be a hard sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. To rent one of their carts for a week will run you 52 gold and 5 silver.
Done.
Is that good? Any problems?
Nope. Paid in full.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. So he'll go pick everyone up in the cart. Like, hey guys, look what I got.
Also ride his mount. So.
Sorry,
Okay.
just like, good idea.
Yeah, I have those every now and then.
Bloody genius, Wallace.
Okay. And Avaven, how will you be traveling? There's the cart. Paul's got his mount. Just so I know where everyone is in like relation to each other.
I guess a cart.
Okay. So Sari and
you don't
Avaven
wanna
ride the
walk?
cart. Greylog driving the cart. Greylog, do you wish to rent an animal to pull the cart as well, or Paul, do you wish to offer to pull it yourself?
You know what? I'm going to wild shape. I will pull the cart.
Okay.
Who's gonna drive?
He is. He's
I
Well,
am
if
a
he's the animal, then
sentient
he's
animal.
driving.
yeah.
Doesn't need
That's
a
an
driver if he's
interesting-
sentient.
That's an interesting use of wild shape.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my Friday group did crap like that all the time. It was great. All right, and yep, you can stay in beast shape for 6 hours. Okay. Noted. With that, also, what are you wild shaping into, just so I know?
I would say like a war horse, like the really big ones.
Okay, noted. You all, as Greylog wild shapes into a horse. Paul, you're astride your stag. Avaben and Asari in the cart. You all make your way to the front gates and pull out into the Tieshin Valley. You're surrounded on all sides by rolling hills and sloping plains. You can see a set of train tracks runs through the plains. A train is not at the station, but there is a station just a short walk out of town. You guys pass it by and cross the train tracks as you leave.
Do I even know what a train is? Do we have those in our country?
In the country you come from? Yeah, you have them.
Okay.
You may not have seen one. I'll say whether you saw one personally, up to you. But like, I will say yes, they do exist in the land you come from. It's just like you could have easily gone your whole life without seeing one.
Yeah, that's probably what's actually happened there.
Okay.
I could have
So
fucking.
you see these strange like. What's up?
I thought we could have fucking took the train.
As you all cross and start making your way towards the Sprintwood, you are surrounded on all sides by lush valley. Ruskovnik clovers and mandrake stems dot the ground. These strange metal rods cut into the ground and flatten it as they trawl through. And Avaben, you notice that there's these like divots where the metal lines are, as if they're expecting something huge to pass through, far bigger than the tracks themselves. But eventually, you guys begin to approach the Sprintwood. The forest is lush and dark green, perhaps a bit too much so, as you know what hides within, and it unsettles you to know that you could be being watched and be completely oblivious. Now, Paul, since you're on a mount, and Greylock, since you are a mount, you two are taking the lead in terms of like navigation. So what's the navigation situation going to be? Like who's directing where you're going?
I mean, Paul's not familiar with this area, but he mentioned the idea of going around the bandit king.
All right. So Greylog, Paul seems interested in just basically taking a slightly broader range to get to the lake that will hopefully circumvent the bandits' territory entirely. What do you wish to do? All right, we'll come back to you. For now, we'll say Paul's navigating.
Love, you're muted.
Hey, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. I was saying that he's going to follow Paul, acting like a mindless animal that's just happening to follow the guy in front of him because that's what he was trained to do.
Okay, very smart. Nice. All right. In that case, Paul, are you comfortable trying to help the group navigate towards Lake Thalasso? And you said you want to take the long way to try and avoid the Tibadran's borders?
Yeah, Paul, I guess, lead the way.
Okay. Make me a survival check.
Yeah. Why am I doing this again? 7.
Okay.
Great, we walk straight into an ambush.
You guys did not purchase a map.
No. I don't know where Paul's going, so that's what I thought.
Yeah, we didn't. You know, we didn't think this through. Hold on.
We rarely ever do. Well, this first stuff is like, oh, we just.
That's like this party's thing, is we just kind of do shit
I mean, we do
without
that for,
really.
we do that for Tuesday. It just tends to work out. We just do shit. It's just more political.
Paul, as you try to lead the group, you realize you don't have a map. You are going completely off of memory of where a map you saw 6 months ago said this thing was.
Man, I'm not very navigating. My navigation skills aren't very
Does
good.
plant lady have a map?
Is there a way?
She is not with you. She
Because-
said she was going to stay in the city.
Oh, okay. So you know,
I
all
imagine
that talk
Anna-
about adventure.
No. I imagine
She's seeing a
that Anna-
completely new culture on the other side of the planet. She doesn't want to just stay there for a night and then leave.
Okay, hold on. Maybe we should like wait a second.
Hello.
Oh, no,
Hello?
Babe was gonna put the idea that maybe we should like wait a second and try to get our bearings.
Well, is there a way that I could maybe, like, Anna and I studied this shit for like a while. Is there a way maybe I could help navigate?
Okay. Paul, roll survival with advantage. So you get to make another roll. Your first was a 7.
Well, actually, it was an 8.
Sorry, well-
I have a -1 to survival, so I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh, cool. I rolled a 3, so 2.
Oh my god.
So
Abatement.
we are totally lost.
Can we just go back the way we came?
Well,
I
let
think
me describe.
I think we're lost.
Paul, as Greylog starts to play into the role of an animal to avoid looking suspicious, you give a quick glance to your companions and start valiantly guiding them to Lake Thalasso. Staying on the outskirts of the Sprintwood, you go up hills and down valleys of the Tieshan Valley. But eventually, after going in one direction for a couple hours, the thought occurs to you that you haven't seen the map in months, and you have no idea where you're going. It's at this point, as you suddenly stop and start trying to get your bearings, that Avaven suggests perhaps, stopping and figuring out where you are. But Asari, in a moment of brilliance, remembering that as a brilliant scholar, they definitely remember the map super well. Asari, you realize, oh, you see the problem. Paul's going the wrong way. You were supposed to go into the forest a couple hours back that way.
So,
Maybe
I
it's
just imagine this is kind of a thing that I do to Jeremy sometimes when he's going the wrong way. So she's just gonna be like, Paul, not to rain on your parade, but the destination that we're going to is actually 60 miles that way, and she'll like point the opposite way.
Paul, do you concede?
That would track. Frankly, just wandering vaguely distance, so I'm not really sure where.
Well, I mean, I guess I said something in the first place.
But I guess Paul will listen to her and just go towards the direction they pointed.
Okay. As you guys make your way back the way you had come, Greylog, just as you reach another stopping point, several things happen in quick succession. First of all, your first use of Wild Shape is exhausted. You're going to have to use the other one if you want to maintain this Wild Shape any longer. And Avaven, you notice at a glance, you are back at the train station. You just spent 4 hours going in a giant circle.
Or isn't the Wild Shape last
Yeah, my
6?
wild shape.
Bear in mind, it took a couple hours to get out here at the edge of the forest and then start moving. And his Wild Shape lasts 6 hours.
Yeah.
So, can I even can I even speak while I'm in wild shape?
Not while
No.
you're in wild shape,
No.
no. Unless you are an animal that can talk.
Yeah.
So after my wild shape runs out, I'm going to say, you two have no idea where you're going, do you?
Raven's just gonna be like, so wait, we're back at the train station, so we're back at the city.
Yeah, the city's just in the distance, babe.
Maybe
You
we
could
should.
easily just go back into the city at this point.
Okay, Raven's like, all right, I think we need a map.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Is there like a pamphlet or something around here with a map on it?
Let's just go back to town and get this sorted.
Well, usually at stops like this, they usually have a map of some kind.
Mhm.
Can I look around for a map?
Yeah, I'm gonna also look around, see if they maybe have
Both
any.
of you roll perception.
Okay.
What can I use? Can I use my natural
But
perception?
there's not. This isn't like fucking 25. This isn't like 20 fucking 20. There aren't like fucking. What do you call them? Fucking tourist
Yeah, but
spots.
they're still gonna have like
Yeah,
pamphlets, like
well, not
like
stop.
like the train, like where it goes through.
What is it, like a rest stop or like a tourist stop or what's the word I'm thinking of? Like
Center.
this. Yeah, like
Usually
a
rest
tourist,
stop is how I hear it.
like a tourist center. It's like they don't have a fucking tourist center.
I don't
I
know.
get what she's saying about the whole train, but I mean, you can still go to we can go back to the town and look for like a map at a common store. If it comes
I'm
down
still
to
gonna
it.
look around for a map and see if there's anything before we have
Alright.
to make all that backtrack. My
Okay,
perception
sorry, you make.
it's 10.
Okay. Sorry,
And
you hop
let's
off
see,
the
so-
cart and head to. And yeah, I'm looking at your passive, don't worry. Although I'll say, if you're like actively looking around, I will request that you actually make a perception check.
Okay, 17.
Okay. Sorry, you hop off the cart and start heading to the train station to hopefully find a map or some sort of tourist destination. Paul, Avaben, anything from the two of you, or are you just content to wait until Sorry gets back and go from there?
Content with waiting.
I guess if they don't find anything, then Avaven will tell them that we should go back so we can be actually prepared.
Okay. Greylog. As Asari leaves and things go kind of quiet as Avaben and Paul just wait, and you just kind of start taking a look around. The cart now sitting listless without an animal to guide it. You hear the snapping of a twig from the tree line.
Who heard this?
And Greylog. And as you turn to see what made the noise, you see a rapid flurry of movement. You don't make out what it is, but you see something move fast in the trees and then out of sight.
So I didn't. Did I actually see it, or
You saw something move, but you don't know what it is.
and I would like to. Let's see. I don't want to hurt anyone. How far away is it?
At this point, you guys have been kind of hugging the tree line for a while. I'd say at this point, it's like the noise and the movement was about, I'd say like 35, 40 feet from you.
I'm gonna nonchalantly walk about 10, 15 feet. Then I'm going to cast mold. Mold earth, which is at will, and pretty much just have a bunch of loose dirt pile up in that area to trap whatever's there.
Okay. Vaben, Paul, you watch as Greylog kind of patrols the tree line for a moment and casts Mold Earth. And Greylog, I assume you move into the tree line to see if you caught something?
Carefully.
Did Raven notice anything?
I'll say that I'll say you don't notice the movement or the sound and all that. However, I will say you do notice that a species of creature known as cravens are circling the tree line a couple miles into the forest, which is fairly noteworthy, as you know that I would say you would know that cravens prefer to gravitate towards either people or places full of death.
So there's either a lot of dead people or a lot of living people.
Mm-hmm.
That is surprisingly not as much as you think. It's like, oh, there is some kind of people there. Whether they're alive or dead, we do not know.
Mm-hmm.
Greylog, as you approach your trap, the piled up dirt, not being a crazy amount of area, is undisturbed. And looking around in the forest, you appear to be alone.
Oh, well, in that case, he will use Molder to get rid of all the pile again. That's no longer there. And he'll go back to the group.
All right.
Could have
Greylog
sworn I heard
returns.
something.
Rip.
Sorry. Making your way to the station. You cross the strange metal rails, hop up onto the small set of stairs, and enter the station. Heading inside, you see a small, kind of weedy-looking human man with a small pair of spectacles and a head of short-cut black hair. A little bit of a mess at the back. It seems like either his barber didn't do a great job or he attempted to do it himself and just couldn't really see what he was doing very well. But
1 to 10, Matthew,
What's up?
how much do I tower over him?
I'd say you've easily got a clean like 3 feet minimum.
Yeah, I'll go up to this man.
He gives you a smile. You can see he's wearing a relatively fine suit. And he leans forward with a smile and puts his hands together. Hello. He kind of looks you over and thinks carefully. Miss?
She kind of gives a chuckle. Sometimes it is hard to tell, isn't it? Doctor, if you don't mind.
My apologies, Doctor. We're not expecting the train until morning, I'm afraid.
That's quite alright. We were just looking for directions. We're quite... we're not
yes,
from...
I have a map, just over there. What are you trying to find?
Amanda can't remember the name. Lake. Hang on, it will come to me. It will come to me. I want to say
He
Lake,
kind of
but
looks.
that sounds wrong.
What'd you say?
Lake Thaddeus? Is that right?
Is that what you tell him?
No. Amanda doesn't remember. I'm sure Sari would.
Roll
Yeah, so
history.
look at the
Funny.
map and see if any of the names look familiar.
Yay. I'll look at the map and see if anything sounds familiar.
Make a survival check.
Cuckoo, motherfucking pigeon. Get out of here, pigeon. You said survival?
Yes.
You see, I am not great at survival. Oh wait, no, I have a +7. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Better than mine.
No, I rolled a 5, so 12.
Still better than mine.
I will say, looking at a map, you're able to find where you are. You're on the appear to be on the southwestern coast, and with a little bit of busy work, you're able to find Perha, where you just left, and stretching out from there, you see that about a day and a half's journey into the Sprintwood is Fort Rosewick, and Lake Thalasso, about a day's journey southeast.
That's the one. That's the one. She'll kind of tap the map. Just the surrounding area of Rosewick would do. If we could just to get us to Rosewick, I could probably get there from there.
So you mean to deal with the bandits, eh?
Well, I mean, eventually can.
Well, just head straight through the Sprintwood out of the station, and you'll be able to find Rosewick easily enough if they don't find you first.
Is there a way to go around the bandit area?
I'm afraid I don't understand, ma'am. You said that you intended to do business with the Debadrons. Why would you be intending to avoid them?
Well, I mean, have you met
Is Avaven present for this train wreck?
them?
No, but if you wish, you can, like, head into the station to see what's taking her.
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay. Sorry, as you're discussing with the man, you hear the door open, a little bell goes ding, and Avaven enters.
Avaven's like,
And
oh, sorry, what the fuck?
I'm just trying
What's
to get
taking so
out.
long?
are you with the good doctor?
Yes.
Yes, he's one.
Well, perhaps you could clear this matter up. There appears to be a small matter of confusion as to the destination of your... And he looks over you and Asari, both kind of armed to the teeth, and kind of gives a polite smile. Mercenary company.
Okay, where exactly were we going again?
Lake. He just fucking said it. I can't say
No,
the
I know it's the lake, but where specifically were we going? Is it specifically in the lake, at the lake, or is it like past the lake? To
All
the
you
west
guys
of the lake,
know...
to the east of the lake?
all you guys know is that the compass that tells you where the keys are leads you to the lake and then stops.
So we want to go to the lake because they said that there was a secret door or something.
We need to investigate, and we need to investigate the area around that lake, pointing to the Lhasa.
Oh. Lake Thalasso.
Yeah, somebody hired us. They need us to go find something they left there during a misadventure near that lake.
Make a deception check.
Deception check.
Can I help by just saying something like, you know how some people are with misplacing the things?
Yeah, sure, I'll allow it. Roll deception at advantage.
Thoughts.
Good thing I had advantage. 16.
He initially doesn't seem like he's certain whether to believe you, but at Asari's point, he kind of smiles, and I suppose I can't disagree there. I've misplaced my own spectacles when they're right on my head.
All the
Yeah,
Well-
apparently they ran into some bandits, and while trying to get away from them, they wound up near there and ran into some troublesome people around that lake. It was very odd, they said.
Indeed, I feel like it's my obligation as a travel guide to warn you. That lake is cursed.
Yeah, that's the story we've heard.
Yeah.
So they don't want to go near there again. The only reason they were near it in the first place is mortal peril.
That's why we're getting paid the big bucks.
So
Well,
they hired
as
us,
long as
this
you...
little mercenary party, to go retrieve their lost belongings in their little chase.
Well, I suppose that would explain your confusion, Doctor. Don't worry, I'm not exactly a man in high enough places to be spreading information. Not that it would do me any good, anyhow. Well, if you intend to get to Lake Thalasso while avoiding the Tebadrons, you'll want to be careful. If you head straight into the forest, as I had initially suggested, that would unfortunately put you right in their favored ambushing spots. But if you head about 2 hours south and then cut into the forest from there, you'll arrive at the lake and minimize how much you're exposing yourselves to ambush. The bandits prefer not to operate in the area around the lake. It's inhabited.
Do you
Nobody,
have-
from what I've heard, nobody likes to be near that lake.
Yeah,
Whether
that's.
they're a bandit, a beggar, or a king, or an army.
Do you happen
No
to have
one goes near there.
Yes, Doctor?
if you had a spare map, maybe you could draw us a. She kind of like thinks of the. I don't want to say diagram, like, can you just like draw on a map?
Draw
a
us
good
a path,
route?
you mean?
No, well, I mean a route.
Yes, a route. Yeah, do you have any extra maps, or do we have to go into town for that?
I do sell local maps, if that will do you acceptably. Regional maps, however, yes, you'd have to go into town for that.
Do the local maps have the lake on it?
Yes, I have a few. And he kind of bends down behind the counter, and you can hear him undoing a lock. And as he's doing so, he gives you a nod. And a map of the valley should suffice. It's not detailed, and admittedly, it's somewhat out of date, but it should get you where you need to go.
Yeah, it should.
Well,
Just remember.
From what I understand, it seems to just be a lot of forest, so unless you have a lot of treants, I don't think the forest change very much.
I suppose that's true. He pulls a small case out and holds it out to you, Vaben, and map of the Tieshan Valley and Sprintwood. Does 11 gold seem fair to you?
Very well.
He smiles
ma-
and hands you the map.
Do you need assistance?
Who needs assistance?
No, I was.
No, she was asking if you needed, money.
I'm good.
Oh, alright. I'm just asking.
All right.
And I was
And-
just responding.
There's a very clear connection between the two.
The man looks a little awkward and kind
I
of
mean, this-
clearing his throat.
There's not really any tension there, it's just a Raven saying stuff.
But in case there's any confusion, just head south for about 2 hours and cut into the Sprintwood from there. I can't promise that there won't be any ambush, but you'll at least be minimizing the risk.
Well, I think we can handle any banditry.
He gives a polite smile, and if you insist, sir, please come back if you have any further questions.
I'll reach out
I'm
my.
going to be locking up soon, so just make way to Perha if there's any trouble on the road. The guards will be more than happy to help you.
I'm gonna reach my hand towards him and just offer my hand. Thank you for your assistance, Mr.
He seems a little surprised, but gives you a smile and returns the gesture. Always happy to help, Doctor. And he gives a smile.
I
Warhol.
was asking your name.
Warhol. My name's Warhol.
Dr. Sariku.
Sounds like the name of somebody who'd be doing art for some reason.
Oh, I'm no artist. I've had family in the arts, but I'm just running a small business. That's all.
Hey, some might say that's an art in and of itself.
He gives a smile, and as I said, I'll be locking up soon. So, if you please.
Very well.
Yes, we'll get out of your hair. So sorry.
Maybe we'll exit.
All right, Paul.
After
Greylog.
the door closes, he's like, "Alright, now we finally actually know where we're going."
She kind of gives a chuckle. Yeah. I guess it would do some good to actually start learning our directions from now on.
Now that we actually have a map, can I study it real quick to see where we're going?
Yeah, Raven's just gonna say, "Alright, the guy said that we should go south for 2 hours, and then from there, cut up. What was it, north?"
Make a history check.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking like less than a minute ago, and I gotta roll history?
Oh, you don't remember it?
Fucking damn it!
God, I know. Where's my fucking notebook?
Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to use inspiration. Are you happy, Matthew? Are you happy?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, I got 14.
He said to head south for 2 hours and then cut into the Sprintwood, which would be east.
Okay, alright, let me compose myself again. Right, if it's like, he said we need to go south for 2 hours and then we'll cut east into the forest.
I think it's a pretty much a straight shot from there.
Also, isn't forest one of Raven's specialties?
Probably.
I believe it is.
Alright, then Raven's like, I'll lead you the way.
Alright. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I was wondering when the ranger who specializes in forest was actually going to take some initiative on helping the group navigate.
Yeah, during that whole conversation, I realized I was like, wait, he's a ranger. I think his specialty is forest. I don't know.
Look. Sometimes I'm still in that Caleb, like, mentality. Where I'm literally, Caleb is only useful in a fight. At least his
Greylog
abilities are only useful in a fight.
Even then,
Greylog roll survival with advantage.
Okay.
Greylog is rolling survival.
Yes, with advantage because he's looking at a map.
Had to be a sorcerer.
So, I have a 22 on the first one, and a 4 on the second one.
One more time, sorry?
A 22 on the first roll, and a 4 on the second roll.
Okay.
Why is he making 2 rolls?
the advantage because I think
Because he has advantage, he's looking at a map.
Oh,
You could just. Oh yeah. Oh wait. I think. Oh yeah. Don't you like hearing like both the rolls are, Matthew?
yeah.
Yeah, because I like to insert it into the flavor.
Yeah. I was like, man, why didn't we just tell him the higher one?
Yeah.
Greylog, as Avaben explains where they're going and takes the head of navigation to prevent the group from wasting any more time, you unfurl the map, and I actually have drawn up, or well, drawn is a strong word, but I've actually illustrated what this is, or rather the exact
Drawing.
map
I mean,
I have.
drawing
So
would just
I
be
will-
the act of doing it at all. It's not like about like if it's like a fucking Picasso.
Anyways, point is, I actually made the map, so I will go ahead and send that. And if you can't do it right now, Austin, that's totally fine. But yeah, this can be the new art while we're doing this arc.
They had a new art on the stream.
Yeah, I've been using the old first, the first.
You're still
Yeah, the one
using
from when you guys were.
You're
Because
still
I never
using
put together a map for Plundon, so.
And I just I don't have any other artwork for this campaign. You have no character artwork.
So yeah, there you go.
We're still waiting on
Greylog, as you
Caleb.
Greylog, as you unfurl the map, this is what you see. You see there appears to be a fort about a day and a half to the east. There is a warning shortly into the Sprintwood indicating a risk of ambush. You can see what appears to be illustrations of a campsite in the trees. You can see the city of Purha marked and surrounded by railroad tracks. And on the southern, kind of southeastern border of the map, you see a lake. Sitting, interestingly, you notice, alone and disconnected from the rivers that flow near it. There's no source for the water of the lake, and no place for it to go either.
Okay, so are we basically at the bend in the railroad track?
Yeah, you guys are right now, you see where that little pathway that connects the three landmarks is, the little dark green pathway?
So we're on that pathway right now?
You're at where that pathway crosses with the railroad tracks.
Okay, so we go south for a bit, and then we go east.
Oh, they did say 2 hours
So we're going to wind up
south.
crossing a river
Twice.
Hopefully it's not too deep of a river.
And at least for the first one, they have a bridge to cross it.
Well, I guess at this point I will pass the map to Ibabin, since he's our ranger, and where he's finally, for lack of a better way to put it, in his area of expertise. So
Alright.
I will then shapeshift, wild shape back into my giant horse, get connected back up to the cart, and we will head off now that we actually have a map.
Okay.
Guess the Vapen will sit on the front of the cart guiding us.
All right. Sorry?
Oh my goodness, I actually he's got the reins. He's actually guiding Greylong.
All right. Sorry.
Vapen's like, man, you might be hearing about this one for a while.
Yeah. At least I'm not going to be the ass of the joke here.
Avaven, you don't understand what he says. You just hear it like the animal noise.
Yes.
Paul, what are you doing?
Trust me, this way you don't wind up
Let's
staring
fucking
at a
vote.
demon.
The horse used the elevator? I didn't know he could do that.
What?
It's Bobar.
It's a stand-up joke.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
Vaven's just
I'm
like, hey, this time you won't wind up staring at a demon until it attacks you.
I was just following them. I don't know where they're going. Clearly, him being the leader is not the good idea.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Uh,
All right. And sorry, anything from you?
No.
Okay. All right.
Like, when they're about to go, man, it's like, alright, mush mush.
I give
Sorry.
a light kick to the cart. Just a light one.
Yeah. Avaven, the cart kind of jolts slightly as Greylog kicks you.
Oh, he's a flighty one.
Paul, following at a steady pace, Asari sitting in the cart, and Greylog pulling along. You all make your way down south. Now, Avaven, I'll say you're close enough to forest for your favorite terrain to be active. So with that said,
According to the map, we should be going straight through a forest for a bit.
it's because the sprint wood is so close to the railroad tracks. But yeah, so again, that's why I'm willing to give you favorite terrain advantage on this one. So with that said, however, before I ask you to roll survival, one of your favorite terrain features, in case you don't know, is that you can travel stealthily while still moving at a normal pace. So basically, being stealthy won't slow your group down. So,
Also,
do you wish to do
twice as
stealthy?
fast.
Yeah, I guess
What's
we'll
that?
try to be quiet about it.
Isn't that like in their favorite terrain? They essentially cut the travel time in half.
No, actually, I thought that too, but no. What it does is that difficult terrain doesn't slow you down.
Changed that. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, because I thought that was the thing too, but I was looking at it. But nope.
So just real quick, out of curiosity, with like the talk of like that new version, like, are we just gonna basically finish all the campaigns we have in the current version?
Yes.
Because they have the new version of D&D they're working on.
Well, they've made it to where it's integratable. You can actually do old versions with the new version stuff.
Mm. But yeah, no, this will stay a 5th edition game. All right. First, Aben, roll stealth.
And I also want
Roll
to keep
the
a
list stealth.
lookout.
Is it using my modifier?
Yes. And what Greylog while he's rolling?
I want to keep a lookout while
Okay.
I'm
Roll
in
perception.
horse form.
Okay,
Alright, roll
hold on.
perception.
I need to get a calculator out. This is kind of a weird number for me.
I also heard that they're not gonna finish D1 in till 2024.
Honestly, with the rate these campaigns have been going,
It's shorter. We're already 11.
Yeah, I'm using my
12.
inspiration.
speaking of 12, that's what I rolled on survival or stealth.
Well, it's
Okay,
your-
noted.
Oh, so wait. Actually,
The rolls have not been good today.
Yeah, rolls are not kind.
I see. So the stealth. I think the stealth only works if he's alone.
You can move stealthily. Oh, yeah. So, well, I'll still keep it in mind.
Right, so that doesn't apply then?
Well, no, I'm going to keep it in mind since I already asked you for the roll. But yes, I didn't catch that it does put in parentheses when you are alone. Again, I'll count it here because I that was my fault for missing that. But all right,
When are
and
you ever alone
this is going to be
in
fun.
D&D? Like,
No, exactly. Like,
For
But yeah.
long travels rarely, but you find yourself just certain.
no, yeah, it can still be useful for a ranger. It's just I just didn't catch it. That's on me.
This is what
Yeah,
people
so-
mean when they say that Ranger's kind of underwhelming.
So this, however, you say that, but this is going to be fun. Roll me survival at advantage with your proficiency modifier doubled.
Oh, damn. What's my proficiency modifier?
+4. So basically, you're going to add +8 and your wisdom, which is +2. So you're going to add a. Actually,
10.
wait. Oh, you have expertise in survival, actually. So,
Yeah,
this will
well,
be.
Oh, wait, so do I double my survival modifier?
No.
No. So okay. So basically, you're going to add up 14 to whatever you roll.
Okay, add 14 to whatever I roll for this. Gotcha. Alrighty then, let's see. Hopefully I don't nat one.
And you have an advantage, remember,
Oh yeah, I have advantage.
because you have a map.
Alright, so it's gonna be +14. It's gonna be hang on, let me do. Let's see. It's gonna be 30, and then 8 plus 14,
22.
22. So I rolled a 30 and a 22.
Okay. You guys settle into an relatively more awkward compared to what you're used to, but honestly, compared to the ship, far more pleasant routine. Avaben, you have the map set on the seat next to you and just occasionally look at it for reference, but for the most part, you're good at navigating these kind of areas, and now that you're actually, navigating, it's easier to steer the group in the right direction. You avoid whenever you notice groups of cravens, which could indicate potential bandit activity. You stick to the tree line, but don't go directly in unless you can't avoid it. You follow the tracks for the most part, crossing a small bridge to get across the river.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, with a roll like that, no, you're A, you're not going to get lost, and B, even if I wanted to get you lost, it's in your class features that you can't get lost as long as you're navigating. The group only got lost because you weren't helping.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. It's all of
I
it.
mean, you're a ranger, to be fair. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, Raven just got off a boat ride for 6 months.
So did we all.
He's kind of been out of practice with this because we were on a ship.
Following the curve of the tracks, you help the group cross the river. The river, thankfully, is not incredibly harsh. It's a relatively slow river, and it's a little awkward, but you are able to help the group get across. And
Since we went through a river, can I go ahead and, I guess, oh, well, he also made several cells here. I'm going to make sure his skin is refilled.
Sure.
I always have to check the notes, because D&D does not have a way of monitoring this on D&D Beyond.
Not yet, at least.
But eventually, you know when you've hit the spot. The sun is beginning to set, but you've hit the marker where you know it's time for the party to enter the Sprintwood.
Well, as the sun's starting to set, Raven might suggest that maybe we take a stop here, since we know where we're going from here.
Does everyone consent to that?
How long would the trip to the lake take?
I'll say you have the map. You've been looking at it up for the last several hours. I actually have to do a little bit of an estimate myself. If you left right now, you would... Quick mental math here. Yeah. You would get there at sunrise. So you'd be traveling all night, but you would get there as the sun's coming up.
Well, we can't travel all night. I don't have that long in my wild shape left.
Yeah. So Vapor will suggest that we stop here and make a camp.
We could travel all night, though.
Just so that we're not resting by this apparently cursed and dangerous lake.
Alright.
Does everyone agree to this?
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Okay. At Avaben's suggestion, Greylog, shifting back into your normal form, you all begin to make camp. However, Avaben, you kind of guide the party on setting up a camp that will minimize the chances of being spotted. As you know, there are, depending on your luck.
How long has it been since Avaben did that? Did that long rest on the ship?
On the ship, it's been about, let's see.
Has it been Has it been more than a day?
No.
Oh, it's not been more than a day.
Yeah, because you did spend the night in Perha.
Okay, that's all I need to know. If it's been at least a day, then yeah, Avaben.
All right. And do you guys intend to keep watch? And if so, what is the order going to be?
I will take first watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Avaben will take the watch after he's meditated for 4 hours.
Okay.
I believe once he's meditated for 4 hours, he could basically take the rest of the watch, right?
You're well rested, technically.
Yeah, you'd be long rested. So yeah, absolutely.
So Avaben will tell Greylog, just give me 4 hours and then I'll take it from there.
Will do.
I mean,
Okay.
I can take what little time you need from him, I guess. So I guess.
Okay.
I'll take second watch.
All right.
So y'all till split 2 hours each?
Well, that's how long Watches are, so.
All right. Avaben, you guide the party in setting up a hidden camp to hide them from the prying eyes of the banditry. And Greylog, you sit slightly on the edge of camp as the rest of the party tucks in for sleep and keep a careful watch on the stronghold, filled from the sounds of it with bloodthirsty bandits, and behind them, a cursed demonic lake. From what you saw on that map, it's as if the very waters of Terra do not wish to touch it. Rivers avoid it and abruptly rather than forming a natural bridge to it. And all who speak of it with fear. You know that come morning, you will be approaching the territory of Eat, the Aquatarchus of Lake Thalasso.
Yeah.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
I knew that was coming. Anytime Matthew starts getting like really like descriptive of like the ending, you know it's coming.
When he gets that deep voice, you know,
Yeah,
of
that
the
deep voice gets
deep,
very descriptive.
mysterious voice.
I'm thinking now he's gonna change up one day. He's like, all right,
I mean,
this
it's
is
kind of
non-serious.
honestly, this is part of why I mention it because like I know he'll like take that because I know he's I know he's like that. I know he'll take that, be like, all right, let's see what I could do to mix it up.
Or he'll let
Check
you
out our
think that he's
website.
going to do that, and then not.
All right.
Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer sleeping outside of a bandit forest. The links have not been working properly lately, but we do have an official D5 Discord server. Feel free to message me on Twitter if you want to hang out with us directly. I can send you a link. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get your podcast from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube to catch up on what you missed. Check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. You can find us as Odd Tornado Productions on Patreon, on Ko-fi at kofi.com/Odd Tornado Productions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd, TNO or capitalized, if you want to get immediate updates on not only everything we're doing, but also whenever we go live. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few members, tune in tomorrow, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, for our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel a political conspiracy if they can stop stabbing each other in the back long enough. Thank you, everyone at the table, so much for playing. Thanks, everyone at home, so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.